Hi there. Are you with me? Let me get my screen on. Um, Hang on one second. There we go. I'll get on full screen here. And welcome. Beautiful day, and I'm so happy you're here with me. For those of you that I haven't met yet, hi there, I'm Jackie Schwartz, owner of Planet Einstein Digital Learning Lab. And today, what we're going to be talking about in our live is some mistakes I have made over the years and hopefully learned from them not to make them again. And then the top 10 did you knows about Facebook. It's kind of a weird way to say that, but did you know da 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 da, and I'll be sharing some pictures of examples with you. And I want to begin with a real quick story. And this happened many years ago. Max and I were living in Greensboro, North Carolina at the time. And I had an opportunity that was just amazing. And I was getting ready to go make a presentation to the actually project manager for a plant that was moving into Greensboro at the time. And it was their very first US location of this Japanese company. So I'm on my way to the presentation. I am all dolled up and hair coiffed and looked great. At least I thought so. It felt good. And I was on my way to the meeting and I was running a little bit early. So I decided I'm going to run the car through the car wash. I'm not sure if I would be taking this gentleman to lunch. So just in case, I thought I better clean up my car a little bit. So I went through the car wash and put my money in the machine, and the car starts moving forward. As I bend over to it from the driver's side of the car, bend over and pick a bunch of junk up off the floor. I always had papers and my calendar and my purse and maybe some coffee cups and etc. Just a pile of junk on the floor. And just as I started gathering all the stuff to clean up from the floor, I heard this psh, psh, psh sound and sat back up really quickly just as all the soap suds started coming in the windows. Yes, I had forgotten to put up my electric windows. So meanwhile, all the soap continues it looked like a scene out of I Love Lucy, honestly. I'm sitting there covered in suds. Of course, I had to turn the engine back on to get the windows back up. And by that time, I literally was drenched and covered all over and head to toe to feet with soap suds. And I mean, it was hilarious, but not so funny at that particular moment. So I did get the windows up and I grabbed a big stack of McDonald's napkins that I had in the glove compartment and started, patting myself off, trying to get rid of all the soap suds and maybe a little bit of the moisture along the way. And pulled out of the car wash and went, damn, I have now 10 minutes to get to my appointment. I don't have time to go home and change clothes. So I had a decision to make at that point. Do I run back home and change clothes as fast as I can and probably arrive late for the appointment? Or do I just make the best of it and maybe arrive a little bit damp and my hair and my clothes a little bit less than perfect? Well, my decision was I'm just going to go. I'll explain what happened and probably laugh a little bit about it and tell him that I can always fill in for Lucy anytime she needs somebody to take on her role. But the mindset is what actually led me to that decision. And I went, I just got to do this. I don't want to be late. That's going to make a horrible impression. So I'm going to go for it. And that leads me to where I'm going next. Oh, and by the way, I have this cool picture to share with you, and I forgot about it, so I'll share it now. Share my screen. This is nope, that's not it. Let me go back. This is the car that I owned at the time. Remember these horrible cars? It always reminded me of a dog that got its tail cut off. But anyway, same color. And this isn't really my car, but it was just like this and the same color. So imagine those windows down. So anyway, the reason I shared that story with you is how powerful the mind is in terms of how your thinking impacts your action. And one more quick story of my recent aha moment. And that moment came as a result of my reading The Miracle Equation. And I think I've shared that with you a couple of different times now, that I was really struggling with not the technical part of the business. I had learned that. I mean, I struggled through learning it, but I had learned the technical part. But where I wasn't ready yet was the mind. I heard this little voice in my mind always saying, Jackie, it's not good enough yet. You aren't an expert. There are so many people who know so much more than you do. And I allowed that lack of confidence, or what you may have heard it called in the past, those limiting beliefs, and it held me back. And it wasn't until I read The Miracle Equation and started putting my affirmation out there every day. And again, I have shared this with you, but I'll just give you the first few words of it. I am capable. I am worthy. And I begin every day with my full affirmation that finally, one day, it was like a light bulb going off. I am an expert. I do know this stuff. And I know it inside out. And I am always learning and continue to learn to this day. I'm taking another course right now that is, oh my God, a wow course for writing ad copy. You can always get better and always improve, but your mind has to be there and be ready and believe that you can do it. So what's holding you back? Now, let's go on to some of the mistakes and faux pas that have brought me through this journey. And I have 10 of them to share with you, 5, 10. So let me go on here and show you the next one. This was a fun experience. I sent out an email, and this has been just within the last couple of months. I don't know if it has the date on, it didn't look like it. I sent out an email to my email list, which I usually do weekly, either posting a video or reminding people of my Facebook Live and what the content will be for that week. Well, this particular one, I was giving them information about the free course that I had going at the time. And I put the little gift package up on there because it was my gift to the audience I was targeting with that email. But one thing I forgot to change on this email was the subject line. You know, the subject line, anytime you send an email to someone, that subject line tells them just, in 4 or 5 words what they're going to get. Well, on the template that I used in my email server, which is Constant Contact, I sent this email out with the subject line that said, "Happy birthday." And I didn't realize it until the email had already gone out. I got mine in my copy. I always send myself a duplicate of it, and I went, "Happy birthday." What was I thinking? And then I went, I can just be bummed about this, or I can turn it around and say, well, it's somebody's birthday and I'm giving them a gift. So maybe they'll see it as happy unbirthday. And you know what happened with this? I had the most opened, the highest open rate of any other email I've sent out recently. So my happy birthday subject line turned out to be one of those happy accidents. So here's the message from that mistake I made. Sometimes it turns out okay and turns out to be a happy accident, which that was. So let me show you another example of something that you might not know. Here is one that actually, I bet you $1 million that some of you are doing this and believe that you are advertising. So here is number 3 of the Did You Know That? This is, see that boost post on there where the blue button right here? Okay, this is the bait. Facebook wants you to spend money, and it is no longer a free post, and most of you, and we'll talk about that in just a second. Don't fall for this. Boosting a post in most instances is throwing your money right down the tube. There are multiple reasons that it will not get you what you're looking for. So don't put any money into the boost post button, and take my word for it. Good advice, okay? All righty, let's see what we have next. One of the things you probably have noticed on Facebook, and let me come out of this one. Let's see, where's my escape button? Tell you what, I'll just put it over this one. Here is a photo shot of Facebook group. Now, let me tell you what's happening with Facebook right now. And some of you may already know this. Facebook, the company Facebook, is really, really, really pushing private groups. And again, there are many reasons for this, but mostly what Mark Zuckerberg has said publicly is the reason for groups to be such a push and a big deal for Facebook is that it enables privacy. So this is a private Facebook group, and only people can get into this group. And I know some of you are watching who are in my group. At this point, I have 53 members. And what I'm doing in this group is sharing valuable content. I am teaching the members of this group some bits and pieces, and in some cases, even longer things they need to know about social media marketing. And if you want to join the group, by the way, just send me an invitation or a request to join the group, and I will look at your answers to the questions that are required and consider your membership into the group. But it is by invitation only. Somebody can't just come here and say, click, I joined Jackie's Power Pedal group. You need to have a group. This is where you are going to get some of the biggest value of using Facebook, and that's in a private group, because these people have joined with you because they know, like, and trust you, and obviously respect your opinion and your knowledge of your subject matter. So you can start out by inviting some people, and then it will turn around and people will start asking if they can join. So it's really important to only, excuse me, I got a tickle in my throat, to only have people in your group who are committed. People who want to learn because they are interested in your subject matter. If you have the wrong people in the group will fail. And actually, there is a way to remove people from the group if they are not meeting your expectations as a group member. So that was number, I'm losing count here. Anyway, I think I have one more picture for you, and then just a couple of other, oh, I lost my other picture. Where'd it go? Ah, this was it. I don't think I got back to that one. Yes, I did. That was the boost button. Okay, I'm going to come back on the screen with you and finish up my other 5, I believe. Okay. I started to use a picture of somebody's ad that I saw yesterday on Facebook, and I cringed when I looked at it. It was, and I won't use any names or any companies to embarrass anybody or to shame them. That's a no-no. I looked at this ad and went, oh my gosh, does this person need my course? It was an insurance agent who had a picture of herself. It wasn't a video, and it just said, buy me, buy me, buy me. And it literally didn't do that, but that was what it was doing. Number one, no. In every Facebook post that you do, give value first and build relationships. Don't make the first contact you trying to sell somebody something. They will run the other direction as fast as they can possibly go. Remember my analogy, and I have shared this one a couple of times. It's kind of like asking somebody to marry you on your first date. That doesn't happen very often, does it? They're not going to marry you on the first date with you saying, marry me, marry me, marry me. So don't start a post with, buy my product. Okay, and here's the next one. And by the way, my title of that one was Selling First is a Fatal Flaw. And here's number 8. Did you know that videos, and I mean not videos that somebody else made, but a video you made of you with good, valuable content, a video will get up to 79% more engagement than just an image post. Picture versus real or an authentic video. What do you think you should be doing? I hear making videos, right? Okay, here's number 9. And we talked about this in our live last week. Make it easy for people to find you. And I did confess to you last week that I had not updated my contact information on my personal profile. And again, not your business page. On your personal profile, I say works at Planet Einstein Digital Learning Lab. Again, a lot of people will know me by my name, but not remember the name of my company. So they will search on Facebook for Jackie Schwartz. And when they go to my personal profile, then they can find my business page because I have it linked. So I still looked at a lot of people, and not just my group that I picked on last week, because I told them I looked at every one of their business pages, and a lot of people had it right. Yay for you. That's a big check mark. You had a phone number. You had an email address. People could find you. They could get in touch with you. But I still saw, and actually one person I tried to get in touch with this week, I sent him a message, and he's a friend, so I could tell him the truth. And I said, you don't make it easy for your customers to get in touch with you. I said, I just spent 15 minutes searching for your phone number. That's not good. And most people aren't going to sit around for 15 minutes searching for your phone number, right? They're out of there and they're calling the next person that they can think of who does what you do, that they can find the phone number to call them. So get that contact information on your personal profile that takes them to your business page, that gives them contact information. Got it? Okay. Another thing that I want to just spend a couple of minutes talking about, and that is Facebook has some very, very rigid, strict, you better pay attention to them rules. They call them terms and conditions or policy, but they are the rules to play by. And if you want to play on Facebook's turf, you got to play by their rules. And I thought I'd give you just a couple of those. Number one big mistake I see people doing is promoting their business from their personal profile. That is exactly how I got my Facebook page shut down for almost a year. My business page vanished overnight, never got an explanation, and that was the only logical thing that I can figure out. It was before, and this was about 7 years ago, it was before I knew better, so hopefully my mistake can help you avoid that result. I mean, it was devastating to have your Facebook page disappear and go, what am I going to do now? Lots of consequences of that, and none of them are good. So another flaw or another mistake I see people making in anything that you're going to turn into a Facebook ad and spend money promoting it. Facebook has a rule that is called the 30% text rule. I see people posting an ad that has text, 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 text. I mean, 90% of it is text. For Facebook to approve an ad and for that ad to get maximum exposure and reach, in other words, it's going out there to the audience you want. If you have more than 30% text, your ad will go down the tube. Don't even waste your money on it because it's not going to perform. 30% text rule. And actually, there is a tool that you can Google that will show you, it overlays your ad, and it will tell you exactly whether or not your ad has too much text in it. I think you just Google the overlay text tool or something like that, and Google it, you'll be able to find it. It's free, and it can be a lifesaver for an ad. And the last thing, how are we doing on time? Let's see. Okay, about time to wrap up here. The last one I wanted to caution you about is, even when you are doing an ad, your job is first to build relationships and write ad copy that shares your story in making little baby steps, one at a time, toward building the know, like, and trust factor. Facebook is all about the user experience, and Facebook company has that as their mission. They are professing that Facebook mission is to give the best user experience, customer user experience possible. So there you have it with the top 10. If you want to learn more, you still have 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, to get into my course that is starting on Monday. There's a link at the top of this video if you're still thinking about it. And I would love to see you there, and do social media the right way so you can grow your business. Thanks for being with me today, guys. I hope this was of value to you, and see you next Thursday. Bye-bye.